But, I want to talk a little bit about those dates that go awry. I've been on a couple blind dates before, which are a story factory. Once upon a time, I decided to just go on this blind date. It's like, why not? I'm easy to talk to, and I find conversation with new people to be fun. I remember, okay, so we walk in there, and they said, table for two for Sean. I said, table for two for Sean. And they're like, Sean who? And I'm like, Sean P. is what it should be under. And we sit down, and she's like, oh, Sean P. What's the P stand for? And I was like, it's just Plot. I have pretty straightforward names, just Sean Plot, just bam bam, which is like, I have some line, some story I've just used for a million years. I'm like self-conscious telling you this, but I just think my name is just sort of like flat. It's just like Sean Plot, it's like, right? It's just like, right? It's like if you dropped a rock on a carpet, it would just go like, boom. Like, that's my name. And I'm like, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, Plot is basically a sound effect more so than a last name. And she goes, oh, really? Tell me about your name. And there was that moment when she said, tell me about your name, and turned and looked at me intently. And I just thought, I shouldn't be here. I should actually be at home with no pants. Not for any sexual reason, but because I didn't have to do anything that day. And I just could have woken up and said, don't need pants. Time to play Heroes 2. Because I just hit that mission where zounds peasants. But at this point in time, I thought, no. You give someone the benefit of the doubt. So I went, well, Plot, I believe is an Austrian last name. Yeah, Plot. But I believe my heritage is actually Czech. This is something I actually recently learned. I thought I was Austrian my whole life, and then I just find out that I'm Czech. What about you? And she goes, well, and talks for about 10 minutes about her name. And once again, in my brain, I thought, I shouldn't be here. Looking down at these pants going, why are you on my body? I could have been at home with no pants, playing games, scratching. That is what could have happened. And again, and then I went home, and all of a sudden, here's the, you know what the best part about a blind date is? When you leave, once you leave, she's no longer real. She's actually not real anymore. And this is something I had to explain to one of my friends. He was doing the traditional, like, post-college, there's no way to meet anyone in a sort of natural way, like you share a class. He was going to the club, which I'm not like a go to a club and meet people. I'm go to a club and dance people. I love dancing. And I'm just sweating and gross. And people are like, hey, who are you? Blow off, I'm dancing, right? I'm that guy. I love the club. But he like did this sort of traditional thing you see in movies. He like would go to the club to try to like meet people, which I can't even comprehend because you'd be like, hey, what do you enjoy doing in your free time? Boom, 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 boom. The noise is so loud. I don't understand. And he had the classic thing happen. He had this girl he was talking to, and she's like, I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then she just evaporated. And he's like, argh! And he sees her again at the party, and he like yells at her like that's not an okay thing to do. Just like tell me you don't want to talk. And I was like, dude, man, no, just let it go. And he's like, I left, and I was like so upset, and I was like, dude, man, just remember, don't worry. Once you leave that club, she isn't real. And he's like, what? And I'm like, she's not real anymore. Because you're never going to encounter her ever again. She exists only in your mind. And that is how I've justified not thinking about every terrible experience I've ever had in dating. Walked away from that blind date. Done! She's not real anymore! Welcome to Storytown. It's been embellished. It's been blown epically out of proportion. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? You know what really happened? We went there and it was fine, and then I left, and then that was it. That's what happened. That's that's what happens in reality. Let me tell you what happened. She talked about her name for 45 minutes. And every time I tried to pipe up, she'd be like, "Shut up, I'm not done." And I'm like, oh, and that is the benefit you have. That's a joke, by the way. I want you to know that I'm not actually sociopathic. Dude, don't worry if your mom's being annoying. She isn't real. This is not the actual life advice. This is me giving you something that you can say to someone else later, and they'll be like, well, I've never thought of it like that before.